Welcome back to the Tool Crib. It's a bit of a rainy day here in Texas, and so this gives me an opportunity to bring out and showcase a couple of things I've been meaning to show you for a little while. And the first thing that we're going to be looking at is going to be this little peanut lighter. Now, this particular one is made by a company called, I'm actually not even going to try to pronounce that. We'll just call it Fish EDC. And one thing you'll notice right off the start is that this is made in China. That's going to be prevalent of a lot of these peanut lighters. A lot of these are no longer manufactured in the U.S. However, there is one company, CountyComm. You can find them at CountyComm.com. They sell the Maratac brand, and they actually have three different sizes of them. So they have the very small ones called the split pea. Then they have a regular size version, which is pretty close to size of this one, which is called the peanut lighter. And then they have a larger version of that, which is called the Peanut XL. Now they make those out of varying different materials, including stainless, brass, and titanium. So for those that like a little bit more, especially titanium, there's a lot of people that like to carry titanium. But expect to pay quite a bit more for those as well, because first of all, they are American made, and they're made out of some of them are made out of a little bit more exotic materials. So the split pea runs in the average of about $35. The regular version is about $45, and the XL version is about $60. So you do definitely pay a premium for American made. Are they any better? I personally don't know, because I haven't had the chance to handle one of those yet. But one of these days, I'm going to pick one up, and I'll get to see for myself. Now, they do sell them a little bit cheaper on their Amazon store. However, you very rarely see the smallest and the medium version or the standard version on their Amazon store, where you do find the XL version on there quite a bit. And because of the price difference is probably somewhere in the neighborhood about 10% cheaper on their Amazon store. So it's unfortunate that they don't sell those other two on there very often. But I'll leave links down below for those, as well as this one. Now, again, this is so the standard version is about $45. So that's better than 4 times the price of this one, and a lot of other Chinese manufactured ones that you'll find prevalent on Amazon and eBay as well. So this is the first opportunity that I've had to, well, it's not the first opportunity, but it's the first time that I'm going to actually put this one together and get it set with fluid, and we'll see how she operates. So a few things that they send along extra. They have extra flints. They also send along the extra wick to go along with it. They send two separate spare O-rings, and then a little cleaning brush to go along with this thing. So we're going to set those to the side, because the new one should already have the wick and the flint inside. Now this is solid brass, and I'm pretty sure it has a brass insert too, but I've never taken this one or set it up, so we're going to do it together for the first time. Now this measures about 1 15/16 in overall length to the very top here. To the top of the canister itself, it is about 1 3/4 of an inch. Diameter for this is 5/8 of an inch. And let me get the scale out here, and we'll just check it and see what it weighs. Well, my scale doesn't seem to want to work. I guess my batteries might be dead. Let me try it real quick, and if not, I'll go get some new batteries. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we zero that out. We're in ounces first, so 1.19 ounces before we add fluid to it. Actually, I got that out of frame just a little bit. My apologies. And for grams, we are at 34 grams. So not a terribly heavy product. I'll tell you what, let me get some lighter fluid in here, and we're going to put some fluid in it and get it going and see how it works. Okay, for this, I'm going to be using Zippo brand fluid. And with these, they are threaded, and then it has that O-ring seal down there at the bottom, which is actually quite nice. Now, the wick there, actually, I don't know how you would adjust that. Maybe you just have to pull on it. Yeah, you just have to grab it with a little pair of tweezers or a little pair of pliers if your wick is a little short. So the brass insert will pull right out. Looks like it has a fill hole as well as the tube for your flint spring. And it's actually pretty nicely done. The fitment on there is extremely nice. It has a little bit of a shoulder there as well. It doesn't have an O-ring seal to seal that portion of it, but it does fit quite nicely. And when you put this thing down against that O-ring seal, it's not that you shouldn't have or that you should have minimal evaporation out of this is that you should have no evaporation. Unlike other O-ring sealed lighters that are fluid based, instead of having just a spring or something, this one is threaded, so once it's set completely, and so the next time you go to use it, it should definitely have fluid in it, provided you had fluid in it when you close it up. So let's open this up again. We'll pull the insert out and let's get some fluid in there, and we'll try it out for the first time. So we'll just use actually, let me see. My daughter ran off with my tweezers because I let her borrow them for a little project, so I would pull that up, but I think we're just going to fill it through their little fill tube here on the side. We'll make sure that we get enough. The little felt pad is allowing it to soak around there, so it's not too bad. And I think that should be plenty. All right, so actually I got a little much there. I'll tell you what, give me an opportunity to let that. We're going to seal this up, stand it upright. I'm going to let this evaporate off real quick, and then we'll give it a shot. Okay, now that that's had a little time to evaporate off and we're well within our safety guidelines, we don't want to start ourselves on fire. Let's open this thing up and give her a shot. Looks like I've kind of overfilled it because that wick is really saturated, but we'll give it a shot. Man, that thing lit up pretty nicely, actually. And because it doesn't have a chimney on it, it's pretty easy to blow out as well. Yeah, I definitely overfilled this thing. You can see just how I don't want to ruin that O-ring seal, so I'm just going to leave it set and let it evaporate off a little bit because I've definitely oversaturated. You can see in the cap here, just from setting it on there, that there's a lot of extra fluid. But that's kind of impressive how well that lit off. Now, again, the benefit to this is that for an EDC item, the next time you want to use the lighter, because it does have that O-ring seal, it should light up just fine. And it's a little bit more classy than carrying around a standard Bic lighter or one of those little micro Bic lighters as well. It's all dependent on what you like. I think it's kind of cool, and the fact that it lit up so nicely there, now that it's evaporated off, that's a little bit more what we should be seeing out of it. So it's quite nice, actually. I rather like the fact that this little keychain lighter, little peanut lighter, seals up so tightly, so nicely. Now, if you choose to carry something like this, maybe in the titanium, like that CountyComm version, that would be pretty nice as well. But the fitment on this one, even for, being overseas manufacturing, is actually quite nice. And on the bottom, I guess it says Zorro. So I don't know if that's the brand name for their lighter, or if that's obviously, well, I don't know, honestly. Maybe that is the lighter name. Maybe this is, Zorro is the actual company, and this is just a company that sells their stuff. So it's actually kind of a cool little lighter. And I'm going to try it off again here just to see just how well it lights back off. The downside to this is that if you find yourself using a lighter very often, this is probably not the kind of lighter you want to go with, because it's a little bit tedious to be unscrewing and screwing this back together. It's more so for those that want to have a lighter with them, that they want it to operate the next time they're going to use it, but don't necessarily, they're not a smoker, or they're not lighting candles or lighting fires all the time. It's a backup, or to have a fire starting capability if and when you actually do need it. Well, this has been a look at the little peanut lighter from Fish EDC, or Zorro, as we might have found out. It's a pretty cool little item, and for $10 to be able to have a lighter like this, I think is actually a pretty good deal. And the fact that they send along the extra components to go along with it, especially a couple of extra O-rings, is actually very nice. So all in all, this is not a bad lighter. My name is Ben. You've been watching the Texas Tool Crib. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next one.